this. This is really nice because it doesn't have a lot of, it's kind of equal holes throughout. Some of the patterns that I said I had looked at had a lot of larger holes on the end, and I really didn't like that. So I kind of, actually when I started this Afghan, when my husband was getting his hand surgery, and it took me about an hour and a half to figure out the stitch count, to figure out what I wanted it to look like and how I wanted it to look. But really, this first row here, this no chain double crochet, is really your first row of double crochet, right? And you kind of have like your initial chain stitch, but we kind of incorporated that into it. Then you'll have your row of 2 double crochet, it's really hard to say and remember, 2 double crochet V-stitch cluster, right? So now we're going to go back to our double crochet row. So every other row I have done either the V-stitch or the double crochet. So I'm going to turn it, and we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and then in that first stitch right here, do a double crochet. Then in the chain 1 space, do your double crochet. Then in the next stitch, double crochet. So all along in the next stitch, double crochet, yarn over, in the chain 1 space, double crochet. So every single space, you just make sure that you double crochet. So this row goes quite fast. The row, the V-stitch row, you always got to make sure you count. And another nice way to know if you're lining up is making sure that your V-stitches are above each other, right? And then make sure, so we have the stitch right here, we can't forget that stitch here. And then we also have this one here, that top chain of the initial chain 3, that double crochet. So this is how this looks now. Now that's starting to look pretty nice, isn't it? And now our next row is going to be back with a V-stitch. So we'll go back with a V-stitch row. And so we 1, 2, 3, chain 3, yarn over, skip 1. It's the same thing, right? Skip 1, and in this stitch here, we're going to yarn. We had yarned over. We had the loop on our hook. Yarn over, bring it through 2, and then keep it on your hook. Yarn over, insert back in, yarn over, and bring it through 2, yarn over through 3, chain 1. Go back on the same stitch, yarn over, bring it through 2, yarn over, go in the same stitch. You can see how fast you can start to work this, right? And then we go to the next. I'm going to yarn over, skip 2, 1, 2, in the next stitch. And this is the first V-stitch cluster, chain 1, and this is our next. And I'm just going to stop here a second to show you. Do you see how this one is over the next one? Now, there have been a couple times when I was working on the blanket that I'd all of a sudden realize, oh, my V-stitches are off by a count. Well, I had missed a count somewhere, and I'd have to rip out part of a row. So if you're watching the rows as you're working them, that way you're less apt to have a problem later on down the road when you're about 10 rows past. So this is how you work that. The next thing I'm going to show you is how I did the border on this, which of course I changed colors for the blanket on the end. And again, I'll have the written pattern on my website. So I'm going to show you how to work the border now. So I have a little square worked up here with the double crochet, V-stitch, double crochet, V-stitch, double crochet. I'm going to join a white yarn onto the corner here. I'm just going to, if I can here, stick my yarn through the edge, pull my blue tight, and then hold both, get my yarn all set here. I'm just going to chain 1. Then I'm going to do a single crochet all the way around in each stitch. I'll do 3 single crochet in the corners, because what that does is it helps the corners lay flat. Most of my patterns, when I put a border on, I will do either a single crochet or a double crochet, just because it provides a nice foundation to work from if I'm going to put a border on. So I've reached the end here. So in the end, in this corner stitch, I'm going to do 3 single crochet right in that corner stitch. 3. So then what I did, so on the edges here, so on the edge, I didn't, well, I had to play with it a little bit because it started to waffle on me, and I didn't want it, I wanted it nice and straight and laying flat. So what I did is I did 2 single crochet in the edge here and then 1 right here. I found if I actually did the 3 single crochet where I did my first chain 3s, that it was just a little bit too wide. So in each chain 3 space, I just did 2 single crochet and then 1 in that stitch space. And I found that it laid really nice and flat. Now, when I get to the corner, I don't have my initial yarn sewn in yet, so that's gonna cause a problem. But here, let me see if I can work around it and get my 3 single crochet. Well, here, I'll go right through it. See, 3 single crochet in the corner, 3, and then here we go, 1 single, single crochet in each stitch across. I'm missing my loops here. And then after that, then we're going to do our half double crochet and then our single crochet, and that brings you, gives you that very nice, lovely textured border with a little bit of a, it looks like you've purposely put stripes in it, but you really haven't. It's just the yarn the way it looks itself. So 3 in this corner, 1, 2, 3, and then we're on the side, so 2 single crochet, and then 1 in that little stitch space, and 2, and 1 there, whoopsies, and 2 more, almost done here, and then I can start, I'll show you how it looks with just the 1 single crochet around it. And here's another one, almost there. And then here's where we started. So I'm going to do a 3 single crochet here. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to join it here with a slip stitch. Okay. So here we have our nice border to work on. So what we're going to do is chain 2. We start with a chain 2. And in each corner, we're going to do a half double crochet, 3 of them in each corner stitch. So what we chain 2, then we're going to come right back in this stitch and do a single crochet. Then we're going to skip 1. And then we're going to yarn over right here, and we're going to do a half double crochet and a single crochet. Skip 1. Yarn over, half double crochet where we pull through all 3, single crochet. Yarn over, half double crochet, single crochet. Yarn over, half double crochet, single crochet. Yarn over, skip 1, half double crochet, single crochet. Yarn over, skip 1, half double crochet, single crochet. And this is how it's starting to look. Let me get this kind of spread out for you so you can kind of see. So you can kind of see that right here is where those rows would be starting through it. So let's do round 2 now that we have this joined. So I'm going to yarn over, and we're going to do a half double crochet in that, or I'm sorry, we're going to do chain 2, pardon me, 1, 2. This is how we started. And then in the same stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to skip 1. I'm going to yarn over. And then the next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet where I bring the yarn through and then through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. And then single crochet right back in that same loop. Skip 1, and then yarn over, go into the loop, next loop, half double crochet, and then bring it through all 3 loops. Single crochet in the same stitch. Yarn over, skip 1, and the next one, we're going to do a half double crochet and a single crochet. Skip 1, yarn over, in the next stitch, half double crochet and a single crochet. And then yarn over, skip 1, half double crochet and a single crochet. Yarn over, skip 1, and a half double crochet and a single crochet. Now we're up to the corners. So we have the corner stitches here. So because we just got through with our stitches here, I'm going to skip 1, I'm going to yarn over, and in that very corner stitch, I'm going to do 3 half double crochets. Because remember, that helps it lay very nice for us. Now, as we continue to grow our blanket, our 2 stitches here of the corner will be incorporated into your half double crochet count. Sometimes what I found is it didn't look quite right if I had like the stitch and then a space. So I ended up just putting an extra stitch maybe in one side, depending on where I ended on the other side. But for the most part, it all worked out. Like here's one here, and you can see that my corner stitches all lined up nicely. But like here, I might have had a little bit bigger gap than there, but for the most part, it lined up extremely very nicely. So just know that as you continue to add your stitches in the corners there, you may have to incorporate. So I'm going to yarn over, and here I'm going to skip 1, and I'm going to do my half double crochet, and then my single crochet. Yarn over, skip 1, half double crochet, and my single crochet. So I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to continue around and have you see how it's going to look after the first one, okay? Okay, so this is how it looks when it's all completed. This is the first round right after the single crochet of the border, and I appreciate you watching. Make sure that you check out the entire written pattern on patternprincess.com, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again.